Do artists need drugs to be creative?
Interesting question.
It starts with this super interesting quote from Salvador Dalí.
Oh.
Yeah, so he said, I don't do drugs. I am drugs. Whoa. Right. So, like, is this being an artist kind of like its own drug?
Yeah, that's a really provocative thought. And, it's a common belief that artists need substances, to unlock that creative spark. But actually, there's a lot of research that suggests that the creative process itself can actually get you into a state that's similar to like a drug high,
Oh.
Yeah, and it's called FlowState.
FlowState.
Yeah, and it's this feeling of being totally focused, like time kind of melts away, and you're just completely enjoying what you're creating, like totally in the moment.
Whoa, that's kind of wild. That does sound kind of like a trip, right?
And, when you think about an artist like Dalí, right, and his work was so surreal, so dreamlike, it makes you think maybe that flow state, that's what he was talking about. Maybe that was his drug, his art. Like it was his way of showing the world that he saw, the world that he accessed, all in his own mind.
So are you saying like we all have a little Dalí inside us? Like anyone can tap into that artistic high?
Absolutely. That's the thing about flow state. It's not like this magical thing that only famous artists have. There are all sorts of studies that show that anyone doing something creative, like writing, painting, playing music, even coding, all that stuff, it can trigger that flow state. It's just about finding that activity that totally grabs your attention and just lets you get lost in it.
Yeah, it's like that feeling when you're working on something and you totally forget to eat, forget to sleep, wait, maybe that's just me, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, totally. And that kind of brings us back to that first question, right? Do artists need drugs to be creative? What's fascinating is that for a lot of artists, it's the creative process itself that gives them that kick. It's powerful stuff.
It really is. So, okay, thinking back to that Dalí quote, right? I am drugs. What do you think he meant by that?
That's a really good question. I mean, it makes you think about where does creativity even come from? If creating stuff, if that can be its own reward, its own, I don't know, maybe it serves a whole other purpose altogether. It's something to think about.
Whoa, so much to think about.
Right.
And for all you listeners out there, next time you're lost in a project, really creating something you love, stop for a second and just notice how you feel. Maybe you'll find out that you've got your own drug right there in your hands. Until next time.
See ya.